in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane, it's over before you know it. While you shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to race number 21, or more importantly, chase race number 1 of Season 2 of the NNSCRA TaxSlayer Truck Series. 8 drivers now embark on a 5-race battle to try and become this season's champion. One driver is trying to become the very first 2-time Truck Series champion as Nick Johnson looks to defend his title here this year. But he's going to have 7 other competitors to have to deal with, one of which he actually battled for the championship last year, that being H Garcia. But we got some new faces that are up here to battle for this championship as well, including O Pollard, Tony Green, E Barber, H Gallant, Patrick Curtis, and N Stapleton. One of these 8 will be crowned champion at the season finale at Auto Club. Now, the way the schedule works here for these drivers, they've only got basically 4 races to get themselves situated for who will be the final 4 to compete for the championship at Auto Club. Tonight, we've got our race at Chicagoland. In 3 weeks, we will have our first elimination race at the dirt track of Oswego. Now, the bottom 2 in the point standings, when the checker flag waves there, will be eliminated, leaving us with 6. We then, I believe it's another 2 weeks after that, we'll go to our 3rd race, which is at Riki Raceway. 3 weeks later, it's our next elimination race at Homestead, Miami. The bottom 2 there will be eliminated, leaving us with our final 4 to compete at the season finale at Auto Club. Let's go get that command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Command is given. 27 laps of racing here tonight at Chicagoland. More than likely, pit strategy will not come into play. It's really just going to come down to who's got the best truck and going to be able to get their way up through the field, up here to the front, to potentially win this race. How important is Chicagoland? Well, you think about last year, the winner of this race was Nick Johnson, the eventual champion. And this is a win and you're in situation. So if one of our 8 playoff drivers wins here tonight, they're automatically locked into the top 6 before our elimination race at Oswego. Point standings coming this race for the chase drivers, pretty simple. Points leader is O Pollard, since he had 3 wins. He's got 3 points in hand over 2-time winners Tony Green, E Barber, Nick Johnson, H Gallant, and H Garcia. And then 6 points back are our 1-time winners Patrick Curtis and N Stapleton. You'll be able to tell the playoff drivers apart from everybody else here. If you look at H Gallant, starting the outside of the front row here, her number 43's got a red splitter, a red spoiler, and red side skirts. All playoff drivers will have those features to kind of differentiate themselves from the drivers in the rest of the field. And we have to bear in mind, there is a rest of the field. There may be 8 drivers battling for a championship, but there's another 34 drivers in this field. They want to get a win here tonight at Chicagoland as well, so they could be the big X factor in this race. As A Olvera will lead us down here to the green flag. The chase for the Season 2 TaxSlayer Truck Series Championship is green at Chicagoland. Let's roll. Already 3 wide, and of course, if one of our playoff drivers struggles here tonight, they're only going to have 1 more race at Oswego in 3 weeks to be able to try and battle back to get themselves back into championship contention. Jake Smith, former winner this season, but did not make the playoffs. He's going to try and go for the lead on A Olvera. Olvera got a nice run the high side there out of turn 4 and is going to lead the first lap. but Jake Smith still to that inside line. Heather Gallant, I believe, is the only playoff driver to start inside the top 10. We've got a couple of drivers that are just barely in the top 10 and just outside. The 92 of Nathan Stapleton there on the high side, and Nick Johnson's on the inside working his way towards the front. Stapleton was 8th last time by, and I think Nick Johnson was somewhere around 11th or 12th. As they are 3 wide, quite a ways through this field. Jake Smith now to the lead. Heather Gallant going to slot into 2nd for the moment. Wyatt Walker right behind her in 3rd place. It's actually a battle for 3rd between Walker and H Olvera. You jump back a little further here. There is Nathan Stapleton up on the outside line trying to get in front of Z Winkle, last week's winner from M&M's. And he will do so. Turns that truck hard left as they were almost 4 wide there between 3 and 4. M Czekala, Wyatt Walker, C Tsang, and H Olvera all in that group. And we now have 3 playoff drivers in the top 10 as Nick Johnson just got the 10th position away from Z Winkle, I believe. And then back here, racing tooth and nail, Winkle and Hillary Sanchez, Preston Plourd, along with the playoff driver Nick Johnson. Johnson's the defending winner of this race. We've only had one other race here before, and Johnson won it. One driver that's struggling, that's 3-time winner O Pollard. He got kicked up to the high side, and that truck's been almost up in the wall the last couple of laps through 3 and 4. So O Pollard is not in a good situation at this point in time. He's got to try and find his way back to the bottom. Apparently that truck is not to his liking at this current point. Oh my goodness, they were almost 4 wide there. That was Nick Johnson forcing the issue with fellow playoff driver Nathan Stapleton. M Czekala may have scraped the wall coming off turn 4. It's at the line. What a drag race that was for the lead, but Jake Smith did lead that lap, but not for long. Here comes Heather Gallant to the inside. Heather would love to be able to head into Oswego completely worry-free, knowing she's making it into the next round of the chase for the championship. But now she's going to have to hold off the pole sitter, H Olvera. So the front row is still 1-2, but just in reverse order. And here comes Nathan Stapleton in the 92. Stapleton, let's not forget that Chicagoland is a 1.5-mile track. Nathan Stapleton's only win came at a 1.5-mile track. I believe it was back at, I want to say, either Las Vegas or Atlanta. Not 100% certain. Here to find out. I want to say it was Las Vegas. No, it wasn't. It was actually at Atlanta. So, still, case in point, he's good at the 1.5-miles. Nick Johnson right behind him, and right now those are the 3. Heather Gallant's in the lead. Stapleton currently unofficially in 3rd, and Nick Johnson unofficially in 5th. Those 3 putting themselves in very good spots for next time out at Oswego to be able to make it into the top 6 that would move on in the next round. But what about some of our other playoff contenders? Some O Pollard was fading to the back. What about some of the others? Go ways back. There's Pollard right now. He is the 4th highest running of the playoff contenders, and he was scored in the 23rd position. Where are the other ones? There's E Barber. He was last time by scored in 28th. Gotta go quite a ways back before you get to Tony Green there in the 4. He was scored 31st last time by. There's Patrick Curtis and Ace Garcia. The last 2 remaining playoff contenders, they're all the way back here in 39th and 40th. Still a little ways to go, but they're not exactly picking up a whole lot of spots, that's for certain. As look at this, playoff contenders 1, 2, and 3 right now on the running order. Gallant in the lead, Stapleton in 2nd, and well, it's a battle for 3rd right now between Nick Johnson and H Olvera. Those are a couple of teammates out of ThorSport. I think maybe Olvera might be willing to help Nick Johnson get up there, but nope, H Olvera is going to hold him off for the 3rd position for this current point in time. Good run for Dodge Rams out of WF9 Motorsports there. C Tsang and Hillary Sanchez both running in the top 10 right now. So good outing for the Dodge manufacturer here today. As now Nick Johnson will go to the inside for 3rd on his teammate. Nathan Stapleton is looking to the inside now of Heather Gallant for the race lead. Now Gallant, with getting a lap led, is going to get a very valuable bonus point. Stapleton would like to get that bonus point as well, and he's going to pull right up alongside the 43 here going into turn 1. He might take the top spot before the exit turn number 2. Look at Nick Johnson right down there on the bottom. Boy, does he know how to get around Chicagoland or what? He won here 1 year ago, and now he's looking to try and stop Nathan Stapleton from getting that lap led. He wants it himself. One thing I have noticed, though, is Nick Johnson is awfully loose on the bottom getting into the entry of turn 3. So if he tries to make a move for the win on the last lap on the inside line, he's going to have to hope that thing stays underneath him. As Stapleton will lead that lap, and here comes Nick Johnson. There might have been a little bit of contact right there between the left rear and the right front of the 92 and the 41. They both keep it together, though, and they will bring that side-by-side battle down the back straightaway into the entrance of turn 3. It's a win and you're into the next round scenario in both tonight's race as well as in tomorrow night's Pizza X Series race and the finisher this weekend in the Hershey's Cup Series race. And looks like Nick Johnson might clear Stapleton out of turn 2 here. Let's see. Stapleton going to try and battle back up topside. And I think he's still there. Now I think Nick Johnson's got him cleared. This is a great battle up here at the front, not only for position, but also for an opportunity to be in the final 6 in the battle for the championship. These three basically battling for it amongst themselves. The closest competition they would have is O Pollard, who is outside the top 15 right now. Johnson with the lead. Right now, Gallant's in second, Stapleton in third, and while we're concentrating on this, we're not keeping an eye on the fact that we've got some drivers up here that are in the hunt for this win that aren't necessarily playoff contenders. You got Olvera there, still looking for his first win of his career. Same for Ricky Cervantes, same for Wyatt Walker. Jake Smith for his second win of his career after winning back in one of the races at Bristol Dirt. Whoa! I think there was contact right there between himself and H Gallant R, and you saw H Sanchez R turn hard left to avoid in case a wreck took place. It's back in front. Nathan Stapleton now looking to the inside of H Gallant. That'd be for second. This right now all going on behind Nick Johnson, who I believe just crossed the line for 10 laps to go. Nope, sorry, 11 laps to go. It'll be 10 to go when he hits the right next time by, as Stapleton is going to take the second position, it looks like. Out of the 8 drivers that made it into the playoffs when the formatted points were put together, Nathan Stapleton was in the 8th seed. If he could win here tonight, he'd be in the number 1 seed probably when the Elite 6 are put together after Oswego. Here comes Ricky Cervantes, though, trying to play spoiler with these playoff drivers. He's in third place, trying to take second. That Nissan Titan, number 58. Cervantes had a call. I thought he had a good run, actually, last week at M&M's. Finished just outside the top 10 in 11th place. So his finishes have been pretty good as of late. Angel Olvera finished 7th last week, and is up inside the top 5 as well. Let's look back, see if any of our playoff contenders besides Gallant, Stapleton, and Nick Johnson have been able to make any forward progress. And it doesn't really look like it. This is a battle between 2 playoff contenders. The 4th highest running playoff driver in the field. As a matter of fact, there's a 3rd right there, Tony Green. So you got Barber, Green, and Pollard. They're all battling here. And right now, as things run, the 2 drivers that would be in the danger zone heading into Oswego, I do believe. We got an issue. Problems for the 28. 28 of Michael Haas is slow, and he's going to get turned. Oh, and they're up in the wall. Caution's out. Pollard, Michael Haas, and Melody Baker as the 28 is flipping. The 3 is upside down. Caution's out. And this changes everything. I think we'll get back green, and oh man, the guy who came in the number 1 seed in the playoffs, O Pollard, is caught up in this incident. It looked like the 28 had a tire going down or a mechanical problem, and then he just kind of got ran over by the 39s. They take the caution, Nick Johnson out in front. And I think that kind of screwed up the rest of the field. See a big gap back there to fourth place H Gallant. I think that some drivers had crossed the line, some had not when that yellow flag came out. Nick Johnson is going to be the race leader, and I do think we will get back green, but Melody Baker, Michael Haas, and there is O Pollard. Looks like he will more than likely be in the danger zone when we head into our race at Oswego, and somehow Melody Baker's driving away, and it's going to continue after being up on her roof. O Pollard, though, you see right there, they've just pushed his number 39 to the garage area. Same for Michael Haas. Let's see what happened over in turn 3 for our first caution in the closing stages of this race at Chicagoland. Well, you saw the whole inside line all of a sudden fly by everybody in the outside line, and you can see the first car on that outside line was the 28 of Michael Haas. And you see right there, he moves up the track. He tries getting out of everybody's way. And let's see what happens here going into turn 3. I think he was trying to get down to the inside to get to pit road, and I don't think he realized O Pollard was already to his inside. I think there was probably a gap right there for a brief moment. Spotter says, you're clear down low, and by the time he decided to make the move down there, Pollard was already there. And look at the hard hits for Michael Haas and Melody Baker. It sends the 28 up on his roof. Melody Baker's already up on her roof, and that's where the truck actually ended up. I don't know how that car, or truck rather, is able to continue. Excuse me. And there you see the 39 just comes completely to rest. Black smoke erupting from under the hood of his Oreo's Chevy Silverado. The 28 does come back down on all four wheels. And there is Melody Baker sliding a good portion of 3 and 4 on her roof and ends up on her lid, but somehow able to continue this race. And I think might be a lap down, might be on the lead lap, who knows. But that's what brought out the caution. Only one playoff contender involved is the driver that came into this race with the most wins and in the number 1 seed in the playoffs, O Pollard. Well, this caution's a big break for a couple of drivers in particular. Number 1 would probably be a big break for H Garcia, who right now would have been, prior to that wreck, the driver that would be in the last position of the playoff contenders. This now bunches everybody back up. We'll see if he can make any forward progress here in this final restart, which will be a green-white checkered. And it's a big break for everybody behind Nick Johnson. They're all going to line up behind him and have a shot at this win. Nick Johnson going to have to do some big-time defensive driving here in these final 2 laps. He'll restart the leaders. Second will be H Cervantes. Then playoff contenders N Stapleton and H Gallant are 3rd and 4th. A Olvera 5th. 6th is Jake Smith. 7th is M Czekala. 8th, Wyatt Walker. 9th, J Tsang. And Joseph Romero has now cracked the top 10. Let's find out where the rest of our playoff contenders are going to be restarting here. Got to go a long ways back before you find the first one, and that's going to be Tony Green restarting back in 27th place. H Garcia is going to be in 35th. Patrick Curtis is 38th. And then the only playoff contender that's out of the race is O Pollard, joined by Michael Haas. 1 lap down is Melody Baker. As the green flag's back in the air, 2 laps to go here at Chicagoland. Cervantes wants to play spoiler. He wants to get his first career win. Johnson, on the other hand, wants to get into the final 6 in the battle for the championship, regardless of what happens next week at Oswego. Back there just around the tail end of the top 10, but up front they're still single file as the white flag is displayed this time by Nick Johnson. Just got to turn one more good lap and not let the 58 do his back bumper. Here comes Stapleton. This is for second. It's going to be side by side with Cervantes, and that may be all she wrote as far as the battle for the win. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Lightning will strike twice for the 2nd straight season. Last year, he won Chicagoland and won the championship. This year, Nick Johnson wins at Chicagoland again. And Nick Johnson, in his quest to become a back-to-back champion in the TaxSlayer Truck Series, has locked himself up a spot into the final 6 in the battle for the championship. He could go to Oswego next week and start Park and still make it into the final 6. in the battle for the championship. Great runs as well for Nathan Stapleton and H Gallant, 3rd and 4th, so they will be in a very good position heading into our next race at Oswego as well. Big battle it's going to be for the drivers that are in the danger zone, which I think may end up being, I know for certain, O Pollard and possibly H Garcia. We'll find out in just a moment as the standings are official. Nick Johnson must love Chicagoland because he's 2 for 2 in his TaxSlayer Truck Series starts here and going to victory lane. Cervantes so close to his first career win, but he'll have to settle for 2nd place. That's Nick Johnson's 3rd win of the season, by the way, and that's a new record for him. He was only a 2-time winner last year, and now 3 wins this season. Stapleton and H Gallant there in 3rd and 4th. Even though they didn't win, they'll be in a very good position heading into Oswego points-wise, with A Olvera completing the top 5. Then it was Marty Czekala, Jake Smith, Joseph Romero, Wyatt Walker, and Caitlin Tsang. That was your top 10 here today. Let's find out where the rest of your playoff contenders finished. Next highest playoff driver was all the way down in 25th, and that was Tony Green. E Barber was 27th. H Garcia was 36th. Patrick Curtis in 38th, and O Pollard finished in 41st place out of the race after that late caution. So right now, the 2 drivers that are in the danger zone would be Patrick Curtis and O Pollard, and not too far ahead of that would be H Garcia. So that might be where the battle will be for the elimination spots heading into our dirt track race at the Oswego Speedway. But anyway, that's going to do it here tonight from Chicagoland. Nick Johnson wins for the 2nd straight year at Chicagoland, and as a result, locks himself into the final 6 to compete for the championship in the next round of the playoffs. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a video, like, subscribe, to become part of the crew today. We have shown your full figure results. These are your rookie point standings, overall point standings, and your chase points heading into our next Truck Series race in 3 weeks at Oswego Raceway, our first elimination race of the season. Up next, though, we've got to start off the playoffs for the Pizza Hut X Series drivers. That will take place tomorrow night, and then it will be capped off by the starting race of the playoffs for the Hershey's Cup Series here as well under the lights at Chicagoland. You're not going to want to miss that action here at this starting race of the playoffs. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. Nick Johnson goes back-to-back in 2 seasons at Chicagoland.